And welcome, John Morris Show on a Thursday morning. Glad you're with us from the TFNB studios, historic Elm Avenue in Waco. The crew's all here. Glad you were with us this morning. I talked about this a couple of days ago, and today it's going to happen. Dan Hare will join us coming up in a bit. Dan, a local attorney, all-around good guys, worked with us in Baylor Athletics, worked at the Baylor Law School, now with the firm of Rainey & Rainey here in Waco. But Dan is and has always been my go-to guy when there's legal questions that barge their way into sports. And my gosh, don't we have plenty of those right now, Garrett? We got plenty of those that it's like it could be a weekly segment with Dan just talking about legal impact on sports.
At this point, yes, you could. Like we have a new case every day or something new that pops up or some new challenge. But yeah, he would definitely make a good weekly guest.
Yeah, very much so. And there wouldn't be any shortage of topics to talk about. But appreciate Dan, and he will join us coming up in just a bit. We look forward to that. Let's start with NCAA outdoor track. No, let's don't. Let's start with the NBA finals from last night. How about that game? Spurs and Knicks, game 4 in New York City. Spurs on cruise control, right? They're up by 29 points. What was the score at halftime? 76-49?
Like, yeah, 76-49.
Yeah,
at
halftime.
Ballpark.
Just cruising, absolutely cruising. And then all of a sudden, all right, here come the Knicks. All right, great third quarter. Go into the fourth quarter. All right, now it's single digits. And all of a sudden, a tip in late, and they win the game over the Spurs by 1, coming from 29 points down. Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand how, like, the Spurs, the game was not over in the third quarter. It felt like they won it in the first half, and they just went in and got complacent. But they were played so well and so efficient, just clean basketball in the first half. No, like I think they had like 2 turnovers.
Wow.
In the entire first half. And you come out the third quarter and you turn the ball over multiple times. You're just like jacking up threes for no reason, just playing bad basketball. And the Knicks, you got to give it credit. They just chipped away. They chipped away. And it was like they closed it to like 15 or 10 in the third quarter. And I almost went to bed.
Yeah.
I almost went to bed. And I was like, you know what? There's something happening here. And I'm so glad I stayed up to watch that.
Isn't that the truth? Man, unbelievable. And the atmosphere there in MSG, we were talking about that yesterday. It was like a college game, you know, they were so hyped in that fourth quarter.
They were. I get having the fans, the celebrities or whatever, but like when you're like walking on the court and like, I don't know, that kind of bugged me a little bit. And I get it. I know it's money and you want everybody to shine and everything. But to me, like that, especially when it's crucial and like Mike Brown's trying to see the floor to make calls and stuff, he doesn't need people walking in front of him or distract. I don't know. That was one thing that last night I was like, okay, I get it. But this is a little over the top for me.
Yeah. That to me is where you go too far when you got those seats that are basically right next to the bench, you know, but you got a coach who's coaching there. And like you said, walking up and down the sidelines, you don't need to be stepping around fans that are sitting there.
No, and it's almost like he's over here. And then you have to go through all the fans to even get to the bench, and they have the bench just like shoved off in a corner.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Selling those high-priced seats, man.
Right.
Bench, y'all can sit down there. You can sit way down there near the baseline. But it was pretty good, pretty impressive celebrity row, wasn't it, last night?
Yeah, they came out in droves.
Yeah.
I think to me, I love the Wu-Tang Clan. So when they came out of halftime and did the performance, I was like, this is over. New York's coming back. But
that's funny.
It was something last night.
That's funny. So 3-1, Knicks lead the series, goes back to San Antonio now for game 5. What do you think? You think the Knicks lock it up in game 5, or the Spurs might get one more?
I think the Spurs win at home, and the Knicks go and take the championship at MSG, and New York goes nuts.
I think so too.
That's kind of what I feel like it's headed.
Right, I agree. Now that a home team has won a game in the series, I think the next 2 might be home team wins. So back to San Antonio, game 5. Obviously, the Spurs have to win to extend the series.
What have you ever been a part of or seen a collapse like that during your time? That might not be the right thing, but
I have. Yes. probably obviously not that big a stage, like the NBA Finals. I'll tell you the first one that comes to mind is the Cotton Bowl, Baylor versus Michigan State.
Oh, yes. That one, that's very true.
Baylor was up 41-20, and just pouring it on, really. And they let their foot off the gas. Threw a touchdown pass to the big guy, Laquan McGowan. Remember him?
Yep.
Who was four
Big
bills. Yeah. And when you did that, you made him tackle eligible and threw a touchdown pass to him. And I'm thinking, coaches aren't pulling that play out unless they feel like they've got things locked up, right? Like that's something you do as kind of an exclamation point. Yeah. But then Michigan State just started coming back. And I think there were when we tell that story, there were 6 things that happened that cost Baylor that game. This was in the Cotton Bowl. And you had to have all 6 of them go bad for Baylor, and all of them happened. Like an offensive face mask. How often do you see an offensive face mask call?
Very rare.
Well, it happened. That was part of it. Knocked out a big play for the Bears. Corey Coleman, I think, was guilty of that. But all these things, all these little things had to happen to give Michigan State a chance, and they did. Every one of them happened, and they came back from 21 points down and won the game. So that one comes to mind. On the positive side, Baylor men's basketball versus Kansas last year or 2 years ago, down by 19 at halftime. I think 21 points early in the second half, playing at home, and just blitzed them. Outscored Kansas 60-30 in the second half. Scored 60 points in the second half of the game.
That's wild.
So there's one there.
Yeah, those are good.
That's not a Baylor collapse, and I don't know if it was a Kansas collapse, but it was just Baylor coming back. Right. And then Baylor UCF football a few years ago. Remember that was down 28. That is statistically the biggest comeback in Baylor football history. Down 35-7 and won the game 36-35. That was fun because it was in Orlando, and their fans there, their students, halftime, we've seen enough. We're leaving. And they did. The place cleared out almost, not completely, but cleared out a bunch at halftime. They went on to their next party.
I remember they were saying, I remember that happened to them, but it was family weekend.
Yeah,
it was. Family weekend.
Yeah, we're going to get an early dinner reservation.
We're out. We're going to Disney.
What? What was the final score? What happened there? Oh. So those are, there have been others, that through the years, I guess if you do games long enough, you're going to see them on the good side and on the bad side. Remember we talked about the Women's College World Series, Baylor coming from 7-0 down to beat Kentucky, and the men did that against Tulane in the 2005 World Series. So those are the ones that are top of mind. Any others that you know of?
None that I can really think of. That was just something different last night. There's no way that you should have it in control like that and just let it slip out of your hands. I understand this. That's a young team, and there's still going to be a lot of growing, and hopefully you can use this and as a clear example to never give up again or get complacent in the second half. But no, that was just something totally unique last night to me.
Really was. And I think you're right. That was one of the thoughts I had was, remember how young this San Antonio team is. Maybe they hadn't been through anything like this before, as a collective group, to be on the road in the NBA Finals, and you got a 29-point lead. How do you handle that? You said they kept jacking up threes. That's what I was saying. Come on, man, run some clock.
You have
Don't
everything.
shoot those threes.
Just go to the paint, feed Wemby, attack the basket with Castle, get to the line. And you just didn't do it for whatever reason.
You don't need threes at that point. You don't need them. So kudos to the Knicks, man. They're up 3-1 and appear to be on their way toward what would be their first NBA title since 1973. So that is going back for the New York Knicks. All right, that was last night. Also, the NCAA track and field outdoor championships are underway. Baylor had a couple of performances last night. Let's do this. Let's take a break, and we'll talk about that when we come back. College World Series set to begin tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Plus, Dan Hare will join us. He's our legal expert, and talk to him about a bunch of hot topics. Dan Hare coming up bottom of the hour. Take a break. Be right back. John Morris Show on a Thursday. Brought to you by Alliance Bank Central Texas and by the Brazos Landing. And we'll be right back after this.
Morrison's Gifts, Waco's oldest family-owned gift store, wants to ask a question to the guys out there. Don't you just love gift giving? Does John Hart, Consuela, or Jellycat mean anything to you? If not, at Morrison's, we have your answers and your back. For 47 years, we have guided men and you ladies through the trauma of selecting the right gift for the right person. Come and see us at 4312 West Waco Drive in the Brazos Square Center, close to Jason's Deli. That's Morrison's Gifts, owned by a proud Baylor Bear.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Providence. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. And welcome back, John Morris Show on a Thursday. Glad you're with us. Camera shot is level, right? Yeah, it looks level. But the monitor that I look at that's in front of the camera is sort of leaning. So I feel like I'm leaning. But I think everything's okay. The camera shot looks like it's squared up on the faux bricks behind me. So I think we're okay. It just kind of throws me, Gary.
Yo, that's definitely leaning.
Yeah,
that's definitely leaning.
I feel like I need to lean this way to make things level, but now we're good. We're good. Welcome back. Brought to you by the Brazos Landing and by Alliance Bank Central Texas every day of the week. The Brazos Landing, great location where I-35 and the Brazos River meet right across the river from Foster Pavilion, right across the interstate. And there's a walkway under the interstate from McLean Stadium. Open 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Those great lunch menus we tell you about, lunch items, $12 lunch menu, and the they don't call it happy hour. They call it early dining from 3 to 5 with some great prices on some of their best sellers like shrimp and grits. Normally $24. It's $14 in that 3 to 5 p.m. window. Chicken fried steak, similar discount there. So check that out, 3 to 5 early dine-in specials at the Brazos Landing. NCAA track and field championships got underway with a bang last night. The men's 110 hurdles. Demario Prince was in that for Baylor, and he was terrific. He ran a 13.15, a PR for him, and finished third in his heat, so he qualifies for the finals. And that was a side note to that event. A guy named Jacoby Sharp of Auburn had a world record-setting time of 12.75 in the 110 hurdles. 12.75 last night. The previous world record was 12.80, set 13 years ago. The previous collegiate best was 12.98 or 12.95, and and he ran 12.75 yesterday. Not even in the finals, in a qualifying heat. So pretty amazing time there. Jacoby Sharp of Auburn, but also Demario Prince of Baylor advances into the finals. Now the women take center stage today. Men ran yesterday for the most part, mostly preliminary events leading to finals tomorrow. Women's preliminary semifinals come up today. It is a final for the pole vault, so that would be Molly Haywood and Tinley Kuhn for Baylor competing in the pole vault today. Several others, Tyria Kelly, as Jerry Hill was telling us yesterday from Eugene. She'll be in the 100, the 200, and the women's 4x1 relay. So good luck to all the Baylor student athletes that are running today at the NCAA Outdoor Championships in Eugene, Oregon. Day 2 today, men's finals on day 3 tomorrow, women's finals, final day on Saturday from Eugene. College World Series begins tomorrow. Field is set, 8 teams, 5 of those are SEC schools. West Virginia carrying the banner of the Big 12, and they play the first game of the day tomorrow, first game of the tournament. They'll take on Troy. Does West Virginia, Garrett, get a little bit of a break? I mean, it's their first trip ever to the College World Series, and they get Troy also making their first ever trip to the World Series.
I would say it could be a break that you're not lined up against like Georgia. I think that would be like a bad first round matchup. But I also think like you can't take Troy for granted. They are really hot right now. Yeah. But I think West Virginia can get by them. That should be one of the funner matchups that we have in this tournament. But I really do. I think the Mountaineers can make it to the at least match up with North Carolina or one of those teams in the second, Ole Miss in the second round.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be a lot of fun, man.
Agreed. And that's not throwing shade at Troy at all. Look what they've done, man. They've had a great season, postseason to get to their first ever College World Series. But for West Virginia, your first time there, you're trying to get the lay of the land a little bit. Be tough if they had to play, Ole Miss that has been there several times recently, or even Texas that has a lot of history in Omaha. So I think that works out well for West Virginia. You know how some schools like Arkansas, when they go, their T-shirts, they're the Omahogs, which is pretty good. I like that. And you try to make that, fit your school name. West Virginia is the Omaneers.
Omaneers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is okay. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, though.
It's not Gomaha.
Right.
But you got to get creative with it. You got to get creative.
Right.
I'm all for it.
I'm all for it.
Omaneers.
Go for it. West Virginia. Good luck. They play tomorrow afternoon. It's either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock our time. First game of the College World Series. So that gets underway tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. The NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships continue. We've got a neat deal this afternoon out at Ridgewood. It will be a public introduction of Jean-Paul Hébert, Baylor's new men's golf coach. And I think a very creative way to do that, not just not a run-of-the-mill press conference per se, but Coach Hébert will be there. Jay Goebel will be there, women's golf coach, and retiring men's coach Mike McGraw will be there also. And we're going to do a little, introduction of Coach Hébert, let him speak, but then do a Q&A with all 3 of those golf coaches. So to me, it's just sort of a celebration of Baylor golf, men's and women's. President Livingstone will be there. Doug McNamee, of course, will be there. So that'll be a lot of fun coming up this afternoon at Ridgewood Country Club, Baylor Golf front and center. All right, let's take a break. Dan Hare is in the waiting room. He'll join us after a break. You got questions, legal questions? This guy has the answers. He's the go-to. So we'll visit with Dan Hare, our legal expert. If we put his title up there, I would put Garrett, John Morris Show legal expert Daniel Hare. So
I think it rings.
That's the role he fills for us. and I look forward to visiting with him. That comes up next. You'll enjoy hearing from him. John Morris Show brought to you by Alliance Bank, Central Texas. 7 convenient locations around Central Texas to serve you better. They're also on the web at alliancebanktexas.com. Check them out. You'll see what I'm talking about with their friendly folks at every one of those 7 locations. That is Alliance Bank, Central Texas. Dan Hare joins us after a break. We'll be right back. John Morris Show returns after this.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports team.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to CentralTexasCattleBaronsBall.org.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. And welcome back, John Morris Show on a Thursday. We're going to welcome in now our legal expert, Dan Hare. How perfect is this? I texted Dan. Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Good morning, John. Good to see you.
You too. Thanks very much for your time. Not in Waco. And isn't it ironic? Tell everybody you're in Houston and tell everybody what you're doing there.
Yeah, well, this week is the State Bar of Texas annual meeting, and the entertainment and sports law section that I've been a part of for a number of years and on the board of that. We have an afternoon session of continuing education programs, one of which I'll be presenting this afternoon on sports litigation over the last year. And so no shortage of topics in that arena, including what we're going to be talking about today with Brendan Sorsby and anything else you want to talk about. So yeah, it's all timely for sure. Very good. Very timely. I said earlier, we could have you on a weekly segment, and there's so much going on in sports litigation these days. But we appreciate your time on the road. Thanks very much for that. Of course. The Brendan Sorsby story saga continues. It's really, topped the headlines. First off, just give me your general thoughts on
First, his eligibility, his question about his eligibility, and then the temporary injunction that at the moment will allow him to play this season.
Sure. Yeah. And this is one that really has struck a chord, it seems like, across the country. So I think there's been so many eligibility lawsuits filed really in the last couple of years. And I'll be talking about some later today but this one in particular, earlier in the year, we had Trinidad Chambliss was a big one, and at Ole Miss that kind of caught waves. And then this one too. This one's different, obviously, with him having been alleged of gambling on his own team and various other sporting events, which all of that is in violation of NCAA rules. And so, NCAA quickly, deemed him ineligible due to that. And he got a good team of lawyers that was able to, in Lubbock County, get a temporary injunction to prohibit the NCAA from enforcing its rule against him. And the main, the thing that's a little bit interesting here is that, the court issued the injunction. It's really only about a 2.5-page opinion. It's not a substantive legal opinion that gives us a whole lot to go on as to why the court felt that this was the right thing to do. It kind of just walked through the basic elements of what you need to issue an injunction. But basically, it's essentially saying, and what the plaintiffs really argued was that the NCAA is arbitrary in the way that they apply these eligibility sanctions on student athletes, and that they didn't provide some mitigation relief to Brendan Sorsby on account of his addiction to gambling, the fact he was seeking help, and they just kind of issued a straight across the board, no mitigation, just a suspension for the rest of his season coming up, and therefore his career. And his team was able to successfully argue that was not appropriate. And so right now, as it stands, with a 2-game suspension at the first of the year, then he's eligible to play for the rest of the season. Of course, then the fallout from that has been, especially amongst the Big 12 athletic directors, presidents, and others, coaches for other teams in the Big 12, that this is ridiculous, that betting on your own team is just a hard and fast kind of rule that should never be broken and doesn't really matter. And that, how do we handle this now as a Big 12 conference in whether to sanction him, the Texas Tech, or to allow for schools to not to play Texas Tech this year, which is what some are talking about, kind of extreme measures along those lines. And it's still a lot of unknowns as to where it's going to ultimately end up.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns for sure. Next step would be the expected appeal, and the NCAA has done that. And how quickly can that happen? I think they termed it an expedited appeal. Something I saw said it wouldn't even be heard until February, which means the season would be over. But what's the schedule on the appeal?
Yeah, so and that is one of the factors that we've seen in so many of these cases, right, is once the injunction gets issued, the appeal process for those injunctions do tend to take months and months. And so the player is usually able to run out the clock on that, play their season, and then they no longer have a need to be in litigation anymore. So they just withdraw their suit and they're done. And that's bothered the NCAA because they want to get some appeal rulings in their favor on some of these cases, if for no other reason than just to get some established precedent to overturn some of these injunctions, even if the player's already played and there's nothing to impact the player. With Sorsby, we'll see something a little bit similar. I think, that the schedule for the actual appeal would not be heard and be decided certainly until after the season. And the only possibility that I've seen a couple of folks talk about, and I think is probably unlikely, is that you can ask the court to stay the ruling from the trial court, meaning to basically kind of put it on pause while the appeal is being heard. And that's, I'm sure, something that the NCAA will seek in addition to the appeal on the merits of the injunction. But yeah, I think at this point, I think we have to kind of assume that Sorsby is going to be eligible to play under the court order after the first 2 games. And so then it becomes kind of a question of, Tech does have a decision as to whether or not to play him. I think we all can kind of read their posture that he's playing. I don't think they're backing down at all. So, and then it's really then back to the Big 12 to determine if they're going to try to take any action. And that's certainly going to be met with legal challenges from Tech. They've said as much in the last 24 hours. If the Big 12 tries to sanction either Sorsby or Tech under some of the Big 12 bylaws that allows them to do that, the presidents can get together and decide we're going to sanction, fine, not allow participation in the championship game, something like that. They could do those types of things, but that's going to lead to essentially another legal battle on that question.
Yeah. I'd be interested in your opinion on the NCAA. They just get sued every time they turn a corner. And am I right? For the most part, that has it's kind of neutered the NCAA on a lot of decisions that they would like to make or probably would make, but maybe don't because they feel like they're going to get sued, and why go through the trouble?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely getting sued all the time. They're fighting most of these cases, and they have had for a lot of the headlines of how much they lose. They actually have had some wins in some different places. The Bediako case out of Alabama earlier this year, they eventually won. Kind of drawing the line on if you go to play professionally and then try to come back to college, there's not an exception for that. And so at least in that case, they were able to win that one. Joey Aguilar's case out of Tennessee was another one earlier in the year that sort of tracked along Diego Pavia's line of extra year of eligibility based on junior college participation. But they were able to prevail there. And so they've been able to kind of draw a couple of places in the lines in the sand where they've been successful. But yeah, for the most part, they're fighting on multiple fronts across the country and in federal and in state court on antitrust grounds and on grounds of state court claims like arbitrary application of rules like Chambliss, like Sorsby. And so, it's made it a real challenge for them. And when you have, one state court decision in Texas or in Mississippi, really that only applies to that player and in that jurisdiction. So it in theory doesn't really have application across the country, but it really does, because then, of course, it just leads to more of those same types of lawsuits being filed in other jurisdictions. And then it's, it creates this kind of patchwork of, what do we have a national, through the NCAA, a national regulatory body on college athletics right now, or is it really a state by state and court by court type of jurisdiction? And I think that's where the NCAA and others have been trying to get Congress to intervene unsuccessfully over the last 5 years, and to try to kind of establish more of a nationally enforceable system. But that still seems far away, even with the most recent Senate bill from Senators Cruz and Cantwell, which maybe has the highest chance of anything, but still a long shot probably. And so in the meantime, it's just a kind of a case by case and jurisdiction by jurisdiction situation that we're in.
Wow. I've heard and read over the last few days that this may be the low point, in these type situations in college athletics. If it is the low point, and we don't know at this point if it is or not, but I've also read and heard that this could be the tipping point, that this might lead to substantive change. Do you think that could possibly happen? So,
I think on that kind of existential front of college athletics, the thing that seems, the two pieces really that seem the most likely, maybe not in the next year or two, but the next 4 to 6 or something along those lines. The really two main things that I think are out there are, could particularly the Big Ten and SEC with maybe a few others create, kind of a super league or some type of joint venture between them, and then just start creating and enforcing their own rules apart from the NCAA, or at least with this as it pertains maybe to football and basketball apart from the NCAA. I don't know, I know I think that conversation has gotten more prevalent over the last, couple of years, and for sure in the last 6 to 12 months, but still maybe something far away. I think the other thing that is always on the table is collective bargaining with the particularly football players, but potentially basketball as well. And the main reason for that is because collective bargaining is kind of the one thing you can do that makes the rules that are in place in the collective bargaining agreement safe from antitrust challenge. And so so many of these cases, not Sorsby and Chambliss wouldn't fall into this group, so this doesn't really impact that. But so many of these cases are antitrust challenges, and if the conferences or the NCAA can somehow come together to form a bargaining unit with or bargaining CBA with a group of football players, basketball players, then as long as everything's being done within the context of that CBA, then the rules would be enforceable and the players wouldn't have the ability to sue under antitrust law. And so, the presidents and the NCAA have all been resistant to that, for this whole period of time. Meanwhile, they keep getting sued under antitrust law and losing a lot. And so, at some point, you kind of have to figure out, okay, can we create a legitimate collective bargaining situation? And it's not easy to do. You probably have to use the conferences as the employers, just because so many of the universities are state, and government entities. That kind of complicates things on a school level, but the conferences could potentially be the employers. But it's not easy and it's going to take some time. And so those are kind of the existential things that probably at some point are going to happen or in some combination, but we're not there yet.
Yeah. Gotcha. Good. That's good information. All right. Final thought. As of today, Brendan Sorsby can play football. He can suit up for Texas Tech after he sits out the first two games. Between now and then, who knows what's going to happen? But do you think that third game of the season, I think it's Tech versus Houston, their conference opener, do you think Brendan Sorsby will suit up and be on the field for the Red Raiders?
I do. Yeah. And I'm not 100% certainly sure of that, but yeah, I definitely would assume that the likelihood is much higher than 50-50 that he's playing in that third game. And that's going to be interesting. Obviously, I just even think through the, outside the legal piece, just the practical implications of, how the opposing crowds as he goes on the road, particularly I think they go to Cincinnati where he transferred from. That was already kind of a game that probably was circled on calendars in Cincinnati. And even more so now and what that's going to look like. So yeah, but I do think he's going to play. I would be surprised if he didn't, I guess, at this point, but we'll see. Like I said, maybe they're able to just stay on the opinion and legally kind of rein it back. But I don't think so. And I don't think the Big 12 and those presidents are going to wind up actually doing anything in terms of him playing. Now, they may still do something to Tech or try to sanction Tech. But that wouldn't stop, I don't think, them from playing Sorsby and then just trying to fight the NCAA or the conference on school-based sanctions. Yeah. So
interesting, really interesting. Well, thanks for your time. I knew you'd have great information on this, and you do. And we appreciate your time, and maybe have you back because I think some of these things are going to keep popping up. But be safe. Enjoy Houston when you're down there.
Sounds good, Jonathan. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. Daniel Hare, he is our legal expert here on the John Morris Show, and you can see why. Explains those situations very well. Formerly with Baylor Athletics and the Baylor Law School, now works with Rainey and Rainey here in Waco. Garrett, what was the note that you saw about the Big 12?
So the chancellors are meeting today to discuss what they can do. Let me find the exact thing right here from Brandon Marcello. It is, so yeah, the Big 12's executive committee will meet today to discuss possible sanctions against Tech, and then the full board of presidents and chancellors will then meet on Monday. But at this point, like he was saying, I don't know what you can do. Yeah. You're just going to get sued in this situation. It's fascinating. And then if you go after Tech or you try to fight, it's like finding a a NFL player for something. Like Tech, the money's not a thing for them. They don't care. You could find them all you want. They're just going to pay it and move on. So I really just don't know what you're going to be able to do if you're the Big 12.
I know, exactly. Well, and again, I don't have anything against Texas Tech. It's just a, situation, unfortunate situation.
That's the thing. I think it gets skewed. This isn't necessarily about Tech. It's about Brendan Sorsby in the bigger situation. He just happens to be at Tech, and they're representing and backing and supporting their investment. I don't think to me, it's more so that situation than Tech as a whole.
Yeah, true. I agree with that. And like Dan said, and some people will bring this up, he could be eligible, by this injunction, and maybe Joey McGuire doesn't play him. I mean, I think he will, but that is one outcome, that he just doesn't play him. But I don't think that'll happen after the second game, after the first 2 games of the year.
No, not the way the presidents come out and supported him, the Kirby Hocutt, the AD, like they are full-fledged. We are behind him. The rules were the rules. We won our case against the NCAA. He's eligible. They're playing him.
Yeah. I'm trying to put myself in the situation. What if this was a Baylor quarterback, and he was going through this same thing? It'd be hard because a guy of that talent, and obviously he's talented, you'd want him on the field for your school. But are you breaking rules or skirting the rules, to get him on the field to play with you? I don't know. I'd be torn in that situation. I do believe rules are rules, though. And this one is just the most basic of all rules regarding student athletes. You cannot gamble, especially on your own team. So I don't know. There's more water under the bridge to come, but appreciate Dan helping us kind of make sense of that. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Look ahead, wrap things up on this Thursday morning. We are brought to you by Toe King of Waco. That is Gary Hoffman. His great crew there, locally owned and family-run business, offering 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with highly trained operators. Toe King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call them the next time you need help, and put their number in your phone so you've got it when you need it. 254-666-5484. 254-666-5484. That is Toe King of Waco. Take a break. Back with more from the TFNB studios on historic Elm Avenue. Right after this, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Bumblebee Blinds of Waco and Temple is your one-stop shop for custom window treatment, transforming your vision into reality. Choose from a selection of shades, blinds, shutters, and curtains. Bumblebee Blinds stands behind our service and products, ensuring peace of mind with our trusted warranty. Call Bumblebee Blinds today to schedule your design consultation. Bumblebee Blinds, simplifying window treatments one covering at a time. BumblebeeBlinds.com.
The Pete Souza Show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. You want to talk NFL draft? I don't know. How about we get you Todd McShay? You want to talk Big 12? We can get you the commissioner. Somebody about the Cowboys? How about we have on the owner, Stephen Jones? Pop culture? Michelle Beadle. I mean, we will bring on the people that you want to hear from. And these people don't join us because of me. They join us because of you. You got to watch this show, okay? It's got everything you need. Sports, hijinks, laughs. Did I mention hijinks? We'll see you on the Pete Souza Show. Now, we are under the 365 Sports umbrella. Check it out. I'm wearing a Tulane shirt. No idea why.
It's the Pete Souza Show. Sports.
Lake Waco Golf Club is a semi-private facility nestled along the north point of Lake Waco. One of the few facilities in Texas to have a full 18-hole regulation golf course as well as an executive 18-hole par 3 golf course. Plus, check out their bar and grill, which is open to the public. And if you're not a golfer, then enjoy time by the pool or even enjoy fishing around Lake Waco. Become a member today and call to book your tee time. Lake Waco Golf Club, where family and friends fun begins. Check them out at lakewacogc.com for more information.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Being stuck on the side of the road is stressful no matter what time it is. Tow King is here to help. A locally owned and operated family-run business, Tow King offers 24-hour emergency roadside assistance with trained operators and high-caliber equipment for damage-free towing. Tow King of Waco is a company you can count on. Call Tow King the next time you need help. Check them out on Facebook, and remember, slow down or move over.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
This year, I made a New Year's resolution. I want every business to own a new copier from CTWP. Call me, Leroy the Copier Dog. Let's get you a copier delivered today. CTWP, your local copier company.
Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
We welcome you back. Final segment, John Morris Show on a Thursday. Pleased you're with us today. Reminder again about the 2026 Heart of Texas Builders Association Parade of Homes presented by First National Bank of Central Texas. It spans 2 weekends. Last weekend, it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This weekend upcoming, it is Saturday and Sunday, the 13th and the 14th. You can tour a variety of homes. You can meet with the builders, give you some ideas if you've got if you're in the process of building or thinking about it. It's fun to see some of the homes around the area from all different levels. Really, you get to choose where you would like to go. Get your tickets online at wacohomeparade.com, and this Saturday and Sunday, final 2 days of the Heart of Texas Builders Association Parade of Homes, brought to you by the First National Bank of Central Texas. All right, we like to share birthdays with you, birthdays and anniversaries. June's a big wedding month. In the sports world, I know, in college athletics, June's a big wedding month. Terry and my anniversary was a week ago, the 2nd. Several others, including Jerry and Vicky Pate. It is their anniversary today. Jerry was with us for a long time as a trainer, athletics trainer in Baylor Athletics. Then went to, was at Belton High School and UMHB. He was at Southwest Sports Medicine for a while. But Jerry and Vicky Pate have been friends of ours for a long, long time. Our kids grew up about the same time, about the same ages. So happy anniversary to Jerry and Vicky Pate today down in Belton. Birthdays today, including Jeremy Otter worked with us. Baylor Vision, Baylor Athletics did a great job. He is now at, I think, the University of Florida. Yeah, he is doing similar things for Gator Vision at the University of Florida. Ellen Derrick here in Waco, better half of John Derrick. Happy birthday to Ellen, former Ellen Bordelon, worked at Channel 10. Now Ellen Derrick. Happy birthday to her. Who else is on the list? Larry Shudra is a good Baylor man. Happy birthday to him today. And it's Ryan Smith's birthday today, oldest son of Steve and Melinda Smith. Ryan was recently at Auburn, but now has moved, and he is at, where is he? Where did he go? Left Auburn, University of Louisville, I think, is where he is now. So happy birthday to Ryan Smith today across the miles. I may have that backwards. He may have been at Louisville and went to Auburn and may still be at Auburn. But happy birthday to Ryan Smith. Garrett, anybody to add? Got any birthdays thrown out there today?
Nobody today, J-Bo.
Anniversaries? All right, very good. We got them covered. Best we can do. And thanks to you for being with us today. Thanks to Daniel Hare for being on with us, our legal expert, our legal official legal beagle of the John Morris Show. I feel like I need to go back and watch it and listen again to everything that he said because there was so much information there. It was all very good.
Oh, he dropped a lot of dimes in there. It's definitely worth listening. I'm going to put that on Sports Tonight for Friday night. So check it out. If you missed that, CW, we'll have that tomorrow night.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm going to go back and watch it for sure because Dan knows what he's talking about. This is kind of his wheelhouse, sports litigation. As such, he is presenting to the Texas State Bar Association in Houston on that very subject today. So thanks to Dan for being on with us. His wife, Adrian Hare, is in the office right next to mine. She does licensing for Baylor Athletics and does a great job. So Adrian, I always have to apologize to her for having to listen to me record things in my office. She's one thin wall away. And she says, no, I learn a lot by listening to you record. So I apologize, but great to have Adrian with us in Baylor Athletics. We appreciate your being with us. Thanks to the Brazos Landing. Thanks to Alliance Bank Central Texas. Lord willing, we're back tomorrow in the 9 a.m. hour. College World Series begins tomorrow. Talk about that and more. Have a great Thursday. Thanks for being with us. John Morris Show. We'll see you tomorrow. Alliance Bank Central Texas understands that banking is about people. From first accounts to business growth, they actively partner with Central Texas businesses and families to help meet their financial goals. A variety of online products and services make banking easy without compromising the personalized banking experiences they are known for. Customer-focused banking isn't just what they do, it's who they are. Alliance Bank Central Texas, serving Central Texas across 7 convenient locations and at alliancebanktexas.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Spring is sprung, and now's a great time to schedule a checkup for your vehicle. As Texas weather changes, it's important to make sure you and your loved ones are safe on the road. Request an appointment online at CompleteCarCareCenter.com today. We're equipped to handle all major and minor repairs on your vehicle. Our experienced technicians can check the health of your tires and inspect your vehicle for any unseen issues. Kish Complete Car Care Center at 5300 Franklin, where we take pride in keeping individuals safe, honestly.